Hello, this is Matt on the Moon Lambo channel. In this latest Moon Lambo Hot Jam, I have perspective from 6 different XRP chart analysts. And you'll see the recurring theme here is that there is a broad expectation that the consolidation that we've been experiencing for many years, it's going to come to an end. Something big is about to happen. And as I've been saying for a long time here, XRP cannot flutter about price-wise in this range forever. Either we're right and XRP is going to hit a new all-time high in enterprise discovery, or we're going to find out we're all disastrously wrong and XRP goes to zero one day. Now, I don't think that's going to happen. I think it's going to hit a new all-time high in enterprise discovery. But the exciting thing is, with us being in a bull market here, we've never been closer. But before going further, I do want to be clear. I do not have a financial background of any kind. I am not offering financial advice. And you definitely should not buy or sell anything because of anything I say or write. I'm just an enthusiast who enjoys making YouTube videos about crypto-related topics, but just as a hobby and just for fun. As I record this video, it is 12:59 a.m., so it's now Saturday, May 25th, 2024. XRP 53.5 cents, Bitcoin at $68,725, and you got the Crypto Fear and Greed Index at 76 out of 100, so we are currently in extreme greed. The other day, and I'm sure you've heard the news by now, but the SEC did approve 8 Ethereum spot ETFs as expected. Now, I say as expected, it was expected for like several days because the SEC obviously had indicated they're very anti-approval of any sort of additional crypto ETF, but things have been changing. From a political perspective, obviously, I've been covering this in great detail in recent days here, so especially with it being an election year, wouldn't be surprised if that was a major factor. But just wanted to let you know, this did happen in case you hadn't heard. The SEC approves Form 19B-4 for 8 Ethereum ETF issuers, opening the door for institutional investment, but S1 registration statements are still pending. The U.S. Securities and Exchange Commission has made headlines recently by granting approval for Form 19B-4 to 8 Ethereum exchange-traded fund issuers, namely BlackRock, Fidelity, Grayscale, Bitwise, VanEck, ARK, Invesco Galaxy, and Franklin Templeton. And so a couple days ago, before this news was broken, I was just kind of thinking out loud. I was like, you know what normally happens in these situations is they're just sell the news event. So once the rumor comes, and then the market has an expectation of directionally what's going to happen, that so-and-so news is going to break, people buy into that, as happened leading up to the spot Bitcoin ETF in January. For months leading up to that, it was just accepted widely that it was going to happen. And I covered that thoroughly at the time. And so, of course, when the spot Bitcoin ETF was approved, we did get a sell the news event. And so I was sitting here thinking, normally it would just be a no-brainer, and that would always be my guess, that we'd get a sell the news event. But I was just thinking out loud a couple of days ago, and I said, maybe we do still get that. But it's just fascinating, like, to what degree can we even have a sell-off if it's a sell the news event? Because, yeah, fine, ETH at its peak before this happened, I think it was up close to 30% over a 7-day period. And then the rest of the market, yes, up a bit as well. But we only had a few days for this thing to ramp up as a result of the rumor that there was going to be approval of a spot ETH ETF. And so as a result, I'm thinking, I guess there still could be a sell-off. I'm just wondering how severe that might be. And I wasn't quite sure. And we did get a sell-off, though. Once the news broke, we did have a little bit of a sell the news event, but it wasn't particularly dramatic. Here you can see the headline from CoinDesk: Bitcoin Ether rally cools following U.S. Ether ETF listing approval. And they noted here on CoinDesk that it was a sell the news event. They wrote, the Ether price, which was up more than 20% in the past week, fell 4% after the approval, which became a sell the news event. So is what it is, not that big a deal, but it's another narrative. It's just another narrative. Like, ultimately, yeah, fine, this will matter. If ETH's going to have long-term viability, then over a span of years and decades, this is a big deal. The amount of money flowing into ETH, yes, way greater than it would otherwise be, unquestionably. And on the short term, does it really impact us? Not a whole lot. It's a narrative that's out there. And we're in a bull market. This is going to continue. Even if this hadn't happened, it wouldn't matter. It absolutely wouldn't have mattered. ETH was going to run anyway. Bitcoin already been running, going to continue running. XRP is going to run. You name it. Market number go up. Yes, for the entire market. Here's some interesting behavior, though, since we did get this sell-off. Here's a post from chart analyst Ali Martinez. And he wrote, Bitcoin whales are buying the dip. These large Bitcoin holders have purchased over 20,000 Bitcoin in the last 24 hours, worth $1.34 billion, as prices dropped below $67,000. And so we did see a 24-hour low of $66,746 for Bitcoin, obviously up now. But whales, those splishy, splashy whales getting aquatic AF, yes, they absolutely took advantage of that. And that's the story you always see. The weak hands, they capitulate, and then the people have the deeper pockets. They're frequently smarter and understand markets to a greater degree, and they purchase that fear. Good for them. Here's a post from chart analyst Jelly. Said, Bitcoin is playing out incredibly similar to early 2017. A hidden bullish divergence in choppy waters right around the previous all-time highs, before the main breakout. Clear $75,000, and this accelerates quickly. So for those of you looking at the screen, you'll note that for the 2017 bull run, he noted that there was roughly 100 days of chop, so sideways trading action, but he noted that there was actually in the chart a hidden bullish divergence. He's saying that's the same thing here. And so we're at about, according to his estimation, about 80 days of chop to this point. Can't stay here forever, won't stay here forever. It's just a consolidation range. And he says that there's a hidden bullish divergence there. And the same thing that happened in 2017, from a chart perspective anyway, is going to happen. So buckle up. It's just the same story every cycle. Let several years pass, the same thing just happens again. Altcoins are going to go insane, and you better believe XRP is absolutely going to be a part of that. And here's another indicator, actually. Check this out. This is from chart analyst Tony Severino. He said, Bitcoin dominance just made its first lower high and lower low on the daily. In my opinion, the uptrend in Bitcoin dominance is over. Now, that's what we want to ultimately happen and what we should expect to happen. The price of Bitcoin can go up dramatically from here, and I anticipate that it will. I don't make a price prediction for anything in the world of crypto. But yes, number go up, certainly. But dominance go down. Because money will cycle out of Bitcoin, and then as there's more euphoria increasingly, money is going to increasingly flow into alts. And so you should expect the dominance to decrease, get quite a bit lower than what it is. That's a healthy sign, and that's normal from cycle to cycle. I'm thrilled at how my alts are priced compared to the lows of 2022 and some of 2023. But the most fun part, and where the opportunity for most people out there listening right now for life-changing wealth, that comes a little bit later in this cycle. But we're not going to have to wait that long in all likelihood. Presumably it's all going to unfold this year. Maybe, some analysts do think it could bleed into 2025, but I won't be surprised if this is all, in terms of peaks, I won't be surprised if this is all sewn up 2024. That won't surprise me in the least. So we'll find out what happens together. But then there's this also from chart analyst Mikey Bull Crypto. And then the rest of the video after this, it's all XRP. So stick with me. You'll love this. I promise you're going to be very happy to hear what the analysts are saying. And it's just so fascinating because as I've been noting a lot frequently recently, I can't find an XRP chart analyst who doesn't think XRP is going to hit a new all-time high. I can't find one unless you talk about people who have a track record of being biased against Ripple and or XRP. Those people, you can find them. They'll tell you XRP should never be in your portfolio because reasons, of course, always because reasons. And they'll say it's going to go to zero against Bitcoin, that type of crap. It's not going to hit a new all-time high. They'll just go up a little bit this cycle. Maybe you'll hear stuff like that. But it's always from the people that have 4 years, shown a bias against it. You can't find, I can't tell you, I haven't yet found, I'm not saying they don't exist, but I haven't yet found an analyst, a reputable analyst who thinks that XRP is not going to hit a new all-time high this cycle. I can't find one. Now, if you can find one, point them out to me. And if they don't just hate XRP because reasons, that you found the unicorn. Bring this person to me. I want to meet them and pick their brain, basically. So this chart is the crypto total market cap excluding Bitcoin, and Mikey Bull Crypto said, it's mind-blowing of how this chart is following the 2020 alt season path, and with ETH ETF's approval is another catalyst. You should see the current consolidation as an opportunity rather than complaining. In this current bull market cycle, you need patience to reap the harvest that comes with it, and that's certainly true. And so he's noting, and she shared a lot of these types of charts recently, which I appreciate. Here you can see the last market cycle. He's noting after the depths of the bear market, yes, started to move to the upside, but then went a little bit down, ranging sideways as a reaccumulation period, then rocketed on up, and then that was the peak of the cycle. Then we went into the most recent bear market, 2022, obviously, And we've gotten out of that. And we're at the end of this reaccumulation phase. This is the last opportunity in all likelihood to reaccumulate before we have a continuation to the upside and ultimately get to the most fun part. We are just about there. XRP is coming along for the ride in a big way. Speaking of XRP, here's a post from XRP chart analyst JT, and he said, XRP, love it or hate it, something big is going to happen with XRP before November. One of the longest running triangles in the crypto market is approaching a date with destiny at its apex. That apex happens to end in November, which is the white line here. This vertical white line. That's when this triangle comes to an end. And he said, if the MACD can turn up, boom. And this is mind you, each candle is 2 months. This is a 2-month chart here for XRP. And this triangle, you can go back and see, it's going back several years here, quite literally. And so he's saying there's gonna, and so when you have a triangle like this, and I'm not a chart guy, but even I know this, it's typically what's going to happen is it's going to have a notable break to the upside or the downside. Now we're in a bull market, so I'm going to hazard a guess it's going to be to the upside. I'm just hazarding a guess there. And this is the latest that it could possibly occur, according to this analyst. It would be November. Now, does that mean it's actually going to take that long? Well, no. In fact, there's this post from Charting Guy. He reposted that, and he agrees with the idea here. And he wrote, triangles normally break before the apex. And so to be clear, he's agreeing with JT. Yep, that looks right. And typically, you'll see a break before that. And Charting Guy, if I'm not mistaken, I thought that he was one of the guys that's been calling for something to happen probably more like June, July range. Unless I'm thinking of somebody else, I could be mistaken, but I don't like putting words in people's mouths. But I think that he's one of the guys that's been calling for that. So just because the latest would be November doesn't mean you have to necessarily wait that long for a major move to the upside. And JT agrees, by the way. They had a little back and forth here. I'm not going to read it. It's not necessary. But JT ultimately did agree and said, yeah, triangles normally resolve before the apex. So, again, fine. Technically no guarantees, I know. What do you think's going to happen? We're in a freaking bull market. Not only number go up, but face melt. Absolutely. And it's going to shock all those toxic Bitcoin maxis and the irrational XRP haters. They can go cry themselves to sleep because we get ours, son. We definitely will get ours. I say definitely. I have a high level of conviction. I don't literally mean there's a 100% chance, but I have a very high level of conviction, the highest that I've ever had in my 6+ years in crypto, that we finally are going to see a new all-time high for XRP. Here's a post from chart analyst Mikey Bull Crypto, XRP. He said, at this current level, it usually initiates explosive run when majority least expected it. Yeah, and so you can see back, look at this cycle 2016 going into 2017. We know what happened there, obviously. Look at this. It looked abysmal. People looked at that like, it's never going to go, and the rest of the market's taken off. Right. It looks bleak until suddenly it doesn't. The asset class moves in tandem. Let's not overcomplicate things. And Mikey Bull Crypto gets it. He understands. Absolutely. And chart analyst, XRP chart analyst Bobby A. saw that post from Mikey Bull Crypto, and he agrees. He said, absolutely. And it's going above that red line this time around. And so you can see that red line. We're talking about all-time high territory, getting in the $4 to $5 range. And again, I can't find an analyst, unless they're biased, I can't find an analyst that doesn't think this is going to happen. Again, if you can't, please present them. If you can find somebody who isn't biased against XRP, there's no track record of hate, and saying a bunch of nonsense crap, and they actually think, nope, it's not going to happen. This one's sitting out this cycle. I want to meet this person. I want to shake hands and understand this specimen. Here's a post from chart analyst Cassie Trades. And for the sake of time, I'm just going to cover a portion of what she wrote here, but this is an XRP USD chart. And she's talking about the breakout because we've been in consolidation XRP price-wise for over 6 years, right? So check this out. The future of XRP. What happens after 6 years of consolidation? For fun, I'm putting on my wizard hat and predicting what will happen after this triangle breakout. Take a look at my plan in the chart. XRP has a small history to go off of. I'll just pause to say, that's rather subjective. I wouldn't characterize it as that because XRP is one of the oldest cryptos in existence. The fact that we have over a decade worth of data, to me, that's not a little, but just my opinion. Anyway, it says, this pattern So he said, let me just read that sentence again. XRP has a small history to go off of, but it has a tendency to consolidate within triangles. This pattern typically forms with the initial wave reaching its peak target, followed by consolidation in an A, B, C, D, E. It's likely that XRP will continue in this pattern of a substantial breakout, followed by triangle consolidation. The actual height of the initial breakout wave remains largely speculation as XRP forms a new trend. Extensions and theories are only suggestions. I've identified extension targets ranging between $8 to $13. So take it for what it's worth, but I keep seeing from all sorts of analysts these ranges as being perceived as likely, and frankly, I'll just say this, like, it seems perfectly reasonable. I'm not making a prediction it's going to happen. I'm not in that game because I'm not a chart guy. It would just be disingenuous if I were making price predictions because I'm not a chart guy. But I have an opinion just like the rest of you, and that doesn't, like, based on what I've seen price-wise in crypto and where, how much money's in XRP now and what the market cap is, I've been watching this with the front row seat enough to see how coins can behave and to what degree they rocket at various stages. And so to think that you could get that type of multiplier effect for XRP this market cycle, if you're talking $8 to she said you're $13, maybe, yeah, that happens in crypto all the time. We regularly get those types of multipliers, even for large cap coins. So at that point, yeah, you're going to see XRP substantially outperforms Bitcoin and ETH. So they've got way more money in them. So you're never going to get the same type of return that you get with XRP, for example. By the time that's what I believe anyway. Here's a post from chart analyst Javon Marks, who I only recently discovered. I shared one other post from him a few days ago, and he simply wrote, XRP, something is brewing. And so I just thought I'd highlight it. I know it's brief, but just indicating this is a recurring theme I see from all sorts of chart analysts out there. And he's comparing 2017 to what's happening right now. And he's noting that in 2017, there was a hidden bullish divergence, and he says, that's what's happening right now. And who was the other analyst that just highlighted this? I just shared this. Was it, hold on. That was an XRP chart, wasn't it? Or am I just, or maybe it was for the crypto. Let me check. Maybe it was the, yeah, there it is. Okay, so never mind. So that one was for Bitcoin here. But the asset class moves in tandem. So, directionally, it's going to do the same thing regardless. And if there is indeed something to that, okay. I mean, history does repeat, right? Then there's also this from chart analyst E. Greg Crypto. And he said, XRP, divide by 2. Price targets $1.96, $2.80, $15, and $66. Check out the chart below, which aims to imitate previous cycle pumps, segmenting them into sections and dividing them by 2 of the previous pump. This approach takes the worst case scenario into account, assuming current demand remains the same without factoring in utility, DeFi, AMM, or anything else. I'm focusing solely on general liquidity, not on XRP Ledger or XRP utility. By segmenting the 2017, we have 3 impulsive waves, and dividing these pumps by 2, we might see the following targets of $1.96, $15, and $66. Considering the 2021 pumps and applying the same process, we might hit $2.80. Don't get shaken if we hit $2.80 to $3.50 and retrace drastically. 70% will take profits. 70% will take profits around this price area and miss this cycle's double-digit price target. Yeah, and so yeah, I don't know for sure at what point we'd see major drawdowns. Usually the biggest ones, if you're talking 70-80%, that's usually when we're heading back into bear territory. So we'll see. There could be obviously major drawdowns, even in bull markets though. And so if we just see $2.80 to $3.50 for the first pop, I'm not going to be selling there. He may be right that a lot of people will. I've said publicly, if you start getting into like $4 to $4.50, I might sell 5 or 6% of my XRP, because for me, if I sell 5 or 6% around that price level, then I will have gotten out all of the money that I put back in, and then I'll be scaling out the rest. This is my plan right now, and it's a lot of moving parts here, so subject to change. But I plan on scaling out of my XRP position between $5 and $8, which I know is lower than what a lot of you listening are looking for. But as I've explained many times, the reason that my target is lower is because I was willing to take more risk up front, putting a lot more money than most reasonable people would be willing to put into XRP. And I did that so that I could have a lower price target. But if I didn't invest as much, there's a good chance I'd just risk it in a different way by holding longer. Of course, then if we don't get those $10 or $15 price levels, I could potentially be one of the people that just misses the cycle then. And so to not miss the cycle, I bought way more upfront. That's pretty much it here. But this is an exciting time. So again, as you can see, I just highlighted perspective and commentary from 6 different XRP chart analysts, and they all come to their conclusions in maybe a little bit of a different way, although in many instances very similar, and a lot of them agree with each other. Just what I'm noticing, a key takeaway is that the consolidation is going to end. It can't stay like this forever, and you don't need to be a chart guy to understand that. I'm not. You don't. If you've got some damn eyeballs, you can see, and you know what happens. Eventually, the range will stop being a range, and it will go elsewhere. So either that's way down or way up, and I'm thinking way up. Adoption for XRP continues to increase. It's going in the right direction. It's more useful than a year ago, or 2, or 3, or 5 years ago. It's more useful. And there's more adoption for crypto. There's going to be more money flowing in. What do you think happens in a bull market, This is not rocket science here. We don't need to overcomplicate this. So it's an exciting time. It's the most exciting time, I think anyway, that there's ever been for XRP, at least for the time that I've been in the world of crypto. I mean, you could argue that 2017, if you were there from when XRP was half a penny, okay, for you, then yes, that would be more exciting. But for the vast majority of us, even someone like me who jumped into crypto the tail end of 2017, this is the most exciting it's ever been. So sit tight, folks. It's going to be coming. It's going to be a fun time when we get there. I'm not a financial advisor. You should not buy or sell anything because of anything I say or write. That would be a very, very, very bad idea. Until next time, to the moon, Lambo.